All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
I want to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to all the occupant that pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. The brothers here from Great Millstone, Atlanta, bars all.
Karatazah.
And we just want to go into this lesson entitled, This Kingdom is Falling Right Before Our Eyes. And, me and the brother was just discussing the fall of the society, and basically going into how really everything around us is crumbling, man. The very fiber, the very core of the society is dropping, man. We're right now, of course, in a government shutdown. Majority of these federal employees are going to have to be pushed back into the service and work and grind without any type of compensation, which that's totally illegal according to a biblical narrative. When you actually read the scriptures, whatever a man works for, he's supposed to get paid that day. He's supposed to get his just pay. He worked his 8 hours. He did his 8 to 10 hours, 12 hours. He did his production, and he gets compensated accordingly. But in this society, Babylon the Great, which is America, you have these government shutdowns and all these different legislations in the books that's made legal in this society, and it's all for the purpose of extracting substance out of the people, because the federal government doesn't have enough money to fund and pay for these things.
That's right.
And I have this article right here, which which we're gonna go into. It speaks about global debt tops 244 trillion dollars, as nearly half the world lives on less than $5.50 a day. And what the hell can you buy with $5.50 in 2019?
Nothing.
You can't buy a damn thing. You can't even buy you could probably buy some McDonald's, a sandwich. But how many individuals usually is per household? 3 to 4. So that means that majority of these people are in a basically in a famine, man. We're living in a global famine where it's a large scarcity of substance. Majority of people are malnourished. They don't have enough food to feed themselves. They don't have enough nutrition, so to speak. Their countries are basically in extreme poverty, and this place is just done on a whole. You have countries that's just tanking, man. And if America is going through such a crisis, and America globally is known as that treasured city, how much more in these different countries over there in Africa, these Asiatic lands, all throughout the Middle East, these countries are going through it, man. So we'll go through the article.
It's from blacklistednews.com, and it says the borrower is the servant of the lender.
Right, and that's in the scriptures. That's in Proverbs. It says the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender.
And one of the primary ways that the elite keep the rest of us subjugated is through the $244 trillion mountain of global debt that has been accumulated.
Right, and this image right here, it speaks volumes, man. That's why it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. And this image, it shows you that. You ever just walked around and you just feel like you have a heavy weight, a heavy burden that's constantly aching you. You don't know what it is. That's the debt. Each and every one of these individuals, including ourselves, of course, in the society, we hold the federal debt of the society, and that's why such as this instance here, when the government shuts down, they have all rights to take you and make you work for nothing, because you are collateral. You are the goods of the society, all right? And you're a slave to the society. That's why it tells you in Revelation, the 18th chapter, when the society falls, that slaves are going to be part of the fall of this kingdom and the souls of men. And that's what Babylon is going to be mourning for, And these individuals, that's working, they're catching all kind of hell, man. And it's not getting any better for the average person. You work 20, 30, 40 years, and you're still making the same, or you have the same amount of income in your checking and saving account as you did when you first started, man.
Or you thought you was gonna, retire by this age, this date, but you got to keep, there's a lot of people at the job that I'm currently working who thought they would have been retired, but they can't because the route that the economy is going, man.
Right. Yeah. Even my auntie was speaking about that, and it's spiritual because she was speaking about she can't retire. She was like, I cannot retire. She's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
She's a pretty so-called successful individual on this according to the society but she was basically speaking about how she can't retire because they're gonna slash her check, and she's basically not gonna be making any type of serious. She's not gonna make enough income to truly take care of herself, man. So that's how this government threatens you. They be like, okay, you can retire, but we only gonna
Mm-hmm.
give you $1,000 a month,
Yep.
300, $300 check every month, $200 check, you know, and you got mortgage, which your mortgage is your death pledge.
Mm-hmm.
In most cases, majority of people pay the mortgages until the day of their death.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have these
Car notes.
car notes. Then you have all
Mm-hmm.
these different medical,
Yep.
payments, all these different things that you constantly have to pay for,
Mm-hmm.
including food.
Yep.
You know, and these individuals, they're banking on the government taking care of them. And this is a prime example right now, the time that we're living in, that the government don't give a mother f about majority of these people.
Mm-hmm.
They just strip the rug for majority of these individuals
Yep.
up under their feet.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are going through it, man, losing
Okay.
their houses. A lot of people are committing suicide,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because this is the burden that they're each and every one of these individuals are suffering. But
Okay.
we'll continue.
It says every single day, the benefits of our labor are going to enrich somebody else,
That's right,
and
and
that's
that's
that's that.
wage slavery. Oh,
Okay.
Salakia, bro. That's
No, you
wage
good.
slavery, man.
Yeah.
It said the labor is only benefiting the individual that they're working for.
That's
But you
that.
want to say something?
That's Haggai 1:6.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, yep. It speaks about sowing in much, bringing in
Mm-hmm.
little,
Yep.
because we putting in the overtime. That's what it's called, overtime. Here it is. You done did your time, but you're doing over the amount of time that you're really supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
40, 50, 50 plus hours a week. Your body's starting to break down, man.
Yep.
And you don't actually eat as good as you're supposed to when you're
Nope.
working these jobs. And what do? They pay you by the hour, and when you get your check, you're taxed federally.
Yeah. If you have a family, you got to cover them on your benefits.
Mm-hmm.
If you have that, so that's taking more out of your check.
Yeah.
So if you're if you're one of those 800,000 employees working for the federal government, you can't even have your family's not covered no more, and you're not bringing in income. So all the money that you was dishing out towards your everyday activities or whatever, you gotta try to hold on to that.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta stock up. And that's gonna lead to what the famine coming.
Yeah, and that's beautiful you said that, because even now, Trump signed the legislation to actually make sure that they give the federal employees back pay. But just think about how much debt these people have racked up
Mm-hmm.
from loans and backed up car payments,
Yeah.
interest because they haven't been paying all these things. Their credit card debt
Mm-hmm.
is spiraling out of control because that's what their last level of reliability. They're basically going into the pot. They're going through everything they can to actually accumulate and muster up some type of finances to survive to the next day. And
Mm-hmm.
even if they get their money back, they've been dug in a hole, man.
Okay.
But we'll continue.
It says a portion of the taxes that are deducted from your paycheck is used to pay interest on government debt.
Hmm.
A portion of the profits that your company makes probably go to servicing some form of business debt.
Right. So everybody's in debt. The
Mm-hmm.
government is in debt. The businesses that you're actually working for,
Yep.
they're in federal debt.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
It says, and most Americans are continuously making payments on their mortgages, their auto loans, their credit card balances, and their student loan debts.
Which all of
Yep.
these are different forms of debt
Mm-hmm.
to try to get you out of the hole. And every time you get in the hole, what happens? You fall back into another.
That's right.
Yeah, your credit card balances always got to be balanced. Your mortgage always has to be paid off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how America keeps you in a perpetual slavery and a continuous poverty.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming to the point, like we always said, speak about, is there is no middle class, man. There's no such thing as a middle class. Either
Mm-hmm.
you're the super rich or you're the super poor, man.
That's right.
Continue.
It says, but most people never stop to think about who is becoming exceedingly wealthy on the other end of these transactions.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, it isn't the 46% of the global population that is living on less than $5.50 a day.
Right. And it's the elitists.
Hmm.
The elitists are the ones that's actually putting everybody in a debt that they know damn well that they can't pay off, so that they'll continuously have to work, like the brother just
Hmm.
spoke about. The retirement age, and the retirement age went up a couple years ago. So here it is, the retirement age is going up, and to actually get your benefits, and they know damn well by that age, your retirement age is close to your death age, man.
Hmm.
Back in the ancient world, you would work for a number of years under a man being a Hebrew servant, and after that time span, you was deemed rich, man.
Yeah.
You had enough substance, you had enough resources to establish your own um, establishment, so to speak.
Hmm.
You could till, you have your land. You want to be highly taxed federally. You actually had your own, house. But living in America, see, these Americans, starting off with the government, you know, the elites, all the way back then, the early 1400s, after the Renaissance, the elitists at that time, they came and broke this whole country down and destroyed the land, and taxed us for every little thing that we get into, man.
Yeah.
You can't even go to a park without having to pay, man.
Yep.
You can't even go to certain parts of the city. You have to pay for parking.
Hmm.
Uh, and this whole land was stolen, man.
Right.
And like I said, it's to continuously put you
In debt.
in a heavy debt
That's
that they
right.
know you can't pay off.
That's
And they
right.
know at the end of the day, when they push this microchip upon the masses of the people, you can't resist.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? How can you come against individuals that actually are controlling the federal police force, controlling the agriculture, controlling the media, controlling all these different facets
Hmm.
of control, so to speak,
That's right.
or controlling all these different facets of the government?
Hmm.
They know without a shadow of a doubt you have no form of resistance. The
Yep.
American people don't know how to get together. They
They
don't
don't.
know how to draw resources amongst themselves.
They don't. That's why it's gonna be a dog eat dog out here.
Hmm.
You know those people. You know that these people. You know that's relying on $5.50 a day. You know they gonna be willing to take the chip, man.
Hmm.
You know because they be like, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of struggling. All I gotta do is take this chip, and things will get better.
Hmm.
I'll be able to take care of my family. I'll be able to provide. Not knowing that that's the mark of the beast.
Hmm.
You know.
And even when this microchip is pushed, it's not going to be just, okay, this is a chip you could buy and sell. It's going to be a lot of stuff that comes
Mm-hmm.
with that chip. It's going to be different styles of microchips, which Lord will do a lesson on that.
God.
Because you have certain chips individuals can purchase, and it actually helps, relieve certain tension in the body.
Mm-hmm.
It actually helps Alzheimer's, depending on where you place your chip
Yep.
in certain parts of your brain.
That's all in that movie Upgrade.
Yep, show you in that movie Upgrade. So these individuals,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't have to deal with medical, I don't have to deal with all these different forms of debt. And medical is one of the main things people pay for, and is in debt under. And if you could take a microchip to help alleviate majority of your medical deficiencies, the majority of the people will take it without a shadow of a doubt.
That's right.
And that's just on the medical aspect, as well as it actually having your credit card balances, all your mortgage, your mortgage payments, all these things all put on that implantable device, and they're pushing it in Arkansas. All right, it's starting to become mandated, and you got individuals that don't want to take it. But if you don't want to take it, guess what? You're gonna get blackballed. You're gonna get blocked
Mm-hmm.
out the government.
Yep.
So it's gonna become a mandatory, and
Mm-hmm.
it's starting with them these elitists confiscating all the riches of the world and the wealth of the world, and rationing it out to you if you take this chip.
God.
But we'll continue on.
It says the world has never seen anything like this mountain of debt ever before.
Mm.
And one of the central themes of the economics collapse blog is that all of this debt will ultimately destroy our society.
And that's just like the brother had spoke about, which through the spirit, he inspired a lesson. This society is being destroyed right before our eyes, and we were speaking
Mm-hmm.
about that before we even seen this article.
God.
And this reflects exactly what
Mm-hmm.
we're saying,
Yep.
showing you that it's a heavy vibration out here. And
God.
majority of these individuals seeing this global shutdown, or this federal shutdown, they're all speaking. These
Mhm.
financial analysts, these economic geniuses, they're
Mhm.
all saying that America is going to tank, man.
Yep.
America is in a horrible, horrible state.
You even got, your everyday, celebrities, even, afraid because they see the state that America is in. Just like you had, it's not a big thing, but you had Cardi B,
Hmm.
speaking on the government shutdown situation.
Hmm.
And she was saying that she was scared, she was afraid.
Yeah.
So this it's coming to a time where you can't deny the fact that America is not great as it was before.
Yep.
America is on the decline.
The status
You
of
know,
America is falling, man.
yeah. It says the economics collapse blog is that all of this debt will ultimately destroy our society.
Yeah, it's being caved from the inside out.
Hmm.
You know, because a society can't thrive and live off of massive amount of debt. Just like a person cannot live off a mass amount of debt.
Hmm.
That debt has to be paid eventually. The interest is going to get so high that that individual is going to be living off of crumbs.
Hmm.
So it's being reflective. The scripture says that in Sirach, the 10th chapter, as the leader of the people, so are the individuals. If
Hmm.
everybody's in debt and everybody's living off of 550 a day, that means that the world is through, man.
Yeah.
We're just looking from a bottom perspective, but of
Hmm.
course you have these super rich that's living good, but the masses of the people are basically jacked up.
Yeah.
We're
Living
living in a
paycheck,
famine now. Yeah, what you want?
barely living paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
We lose that one paycheck and we done. You know. It says according to the Institute of International Finance, the total amount of global debt is now more than 3 times the size of the global economy.
Mm.
The world's debt pile is hovering near a record at $244 trillion, which is more than 3 times the size of the global economy, according to an analyst by the Institute of International Finance.
And you know what the thing is about this too? It's gonna keep going up.
Yep.
When debt gets that high, it's like I said, the interest and all these different things is gonna pull on this society, and it's gonna make it where it bottoms out, man.
That's right.
It's too much debt. It's this place is horrible, man.
Mm-hmm.
The resources is drying up. There is a lack of resources, and on top of all these different disasters that going on, top
Yeah.
of the the California wildfires,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why it's because with debt comes what? Depression,
Yep.
and with depression comes drug addictions, comes criminal
Suicide.
suicide. It spikes the crime rate,
Mm-hmm.
incarceration,
Yep.
and that's why even it's a high link with you know debt with all these different things. And look at America's federal incarceration rate. Look at America's opioid
Mm-hmm.
epidemic. These things are spiraling out of control to the point that the masses of the individuals don't even care about life,
Mm-hmm.
and the government has no way to control these people.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in
I,
Isaiah 19,
15.
yep, and 15. It says, "Neither shall there be any work for Egypt
Mm-hmm.
which the head or tail, branch or rush may do." Right, and that's talking about labor services. And even though you have individuals that's working now, they're not getting compensated.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lack of compensation. It's a lack of rationing of
Mm-hmm.
goods, rationing of food.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is actually being cut out from beneath you, man.
Yeah.
That's why even these individuals in the so-called health department, which is a whole fraud in itself, they're speaking about actually eating cockroaches, taking cockroaches and grinding it up and drinking the milk. They're saying that's a healthier alternative to actually regular milk, because they're trying to desensitize the people and have them actually eating basically alternative food
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
survive instead of natural nutritious food. Now you have to
Mm-hmm.
eat dirt. Now you have
Yep.
to you have to actually transition and put GMOs. Now you have to
Mm-hmm.
put bat shit in the food. You have to put all this waste material and grind it up and put all type of artificial chemicals in it to feed the masses of the people, because
Mm-hmm.
they don't have enough accessible goods to actually feed everybody
a nutritional dish.
God.
You see, this is all these things aren't just by coincidence. It's not just because the government wants to. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
America is losing its grips, man. This kingdom is done, and these elites are looking to try to do anything to keep this society afloat, but they're losing it, man.
Yeah,
They're
'cause
losing their power.
and the same thing that they're trying to do, like the brother was saying, to keep this society afloat, is actually hurting them.
Hmm.
You know, just like how they want to push the microchip. In all actuality, that's gonna hurt them.
Yep,
That's gonna be the downfall.
that's gonna be the
You know.
downfall. Yep, and on top of all these different wars that's
Mm-hmm.
looming on top of these different countries that's ditching the dollar,
Oh, the amount of money they put in the military.
the amount of money they're putting in the military, because war is still going
Yep.
on, and you got individuals that's dropping the U.S. dollar, which is doing what, messing up the
Mm-hmm.
financial market of America.
Okay.
They're dropping the U.S. dollar, they're detaching, and that's going to make these different countries have to go to war with Iran, go to war
Mm-hmm.
with China, go to war with Russia,
Mm-hmm.
because they're ditching the economic the economic union, so to speak, the EU, NATO. They're detaching themselves from America, and they're establishing their own because they know mingling with the ways of America is going to put their society at an all-time low. And
That's
it's not
right.
going on only in America. Russia's feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
China's feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, different countries in the Middle East, especially Africa.
Okay.
So these countries are like, man, we're not to blame. These
Mm-hmm.
these global elitists are to blame. These same articles we read, these individuals, these intelligence agents, the presidents, the prime ministers in these countries, they know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
They know in order to actually get some type of liberation, they have to pull away from America, and that means war. Whenever you
Mm-hmm.
pull out of an establishment,
That's an act of war.
that's an act of war, man, and it's gonna get it's gonna go nuclear. But I'm gonna continue on, verse 16. And that day shall Egypt be like unto woman,
Mm.
and it shall be afraid and fear. And like the brother speaking about Cardi B, you know, she's a reflection of the status of how the people are thinking. You know, scared, you know, trembling, don't know what to do. And she's a multi-millionaire. She's
Right.
backed by security. Everywhere she goes, she has a big boy bouncers
Mm-hmm.
around the 6'8", 6'9" bouncers,
Mm-hmm.
250 plus pounds. You know, just built for
Mm-hmm.
conflict, and she's in a state of fear.
Right.
How much more these regular everyday citizens that's making that 550 a day to survive off of
Okay.
or to live off of? And with that 550, how much can you buy with that? You don't have enough to really even buy tissue to wipe your ass, man.
Gas. You can't get gas.
Can't get gas, and that's why people even today in these today's times they don't even want to purchase cars.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming to a point where everybody's in through, man.
Yep.
The fall of America is being presented right
America's
before our eyes.
on his last leg.
America's on its last leg, and that's why in the book of Daniel it speaks about that kingdom, the 10 toes that was that had the miry clay. That miry clay represents unstableness, and it's unstable in various countries, and it's all showing the signs being here. Look at Argentina. Look at these different countries that's suffering
Mm-hmm.
a famine. They eating cats and dogs out there.
Brazil right now is you know is getting ready to go on an all-out war against its own president.
Yep, revolts,
Yep.
insurrections, protests. The protests in Paris. You know, and it's gonna get worse and worse. But
Mm-hmm.
continuing on, because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. And it's all being designed and it's all being crafted by Yahweh Shem Shah. The Lord is putting this place in a debt. He's breaking this kingdom down. He got the angels working on the minds of the kings and
Mm-hmm.
the presidents and the ministers. You know, these individuals, because he got them in the trick bag to actually collapse this place. All right, because his land is set upon wickedness. Me and his brother was just now seeing an article about a 10-year-old drag queen, man.
Mm-hmm.
And you think wickedness is going to establish itself for forever, man? The
Done.
scriptures speak about in Job, the 20th chapter, the triumphing
Oh, the
of the
wicked
wicked
is
is
short.
short, man.
That's right.
This is a short-lived society. And America officially was established in 1776. From 1776 to 2019, America is done. And
Mm-hmm.
that's 300 plus years, if I'm not mistaken, you know, give or take. And for America to be this bad in this horrible state after that span of
They did a
time,
poor job.
they did a horrible job. Scriptures speak about in Isaiah 14 the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
How the American infrastructure is done on a whole. They're not putting no money in the infrastructure. All they're putting it towards is war.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really the main point. You
Yeah, I
had something.
had some.
Okay.
This is Ecclesiastes 12, and I'll start at 3. It says, "In that day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and the grinders cease, because they are few,
Yep.
and those that look out the windows be darkened." You know, so hey, the grinding is ceased, man. The work is coming to naught, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard, to get a job. It's hard to keep a job once you get it. You know, hey, that's a sign of the economy down dropping, man,
Mm-hmm.
on its downfall.
Yeah.
Because oh,
Oh,
you got it.
you gonna say though?
No, you got it.
Oh, and you watch that on movies like Elysium, where it shows you in the days ahead they're gonna turn things and make them more artificial intelligent to the
Mhm.
point that they don't need the masses of the people because the work of the society is not gonna equate to the finances.
Mhm.
Here it is now. Now you know the average person. You might be making $10, $15 an hour. $15 an hour is really like $7 an hour
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
$10 an hour is really $5. If you're making
Mhm.
$8, you're really making like $3 or $4 an hour.
Yeah.
You don't see it. Majority of people are, if I'm making $8, I'm making. You don't. They don't understand finances. They don't understand how money works, man.
Yeah.
What can $8 purchase nowadays? You know. But it's a little bit more. That's really the main point.
Verse 4. It says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low,
That's
and he
okay.
and it says, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low."
Yeah, and that's talking
Mhm.
about the music, the entertainment of this place is
Mhm.
is dropping. There's nothing actually is worth its weight in the society anymore, man.
Yeah.
And that's why people are turning to alternative means of actual relief, which is drug
Mhm.
addiction,
Yep.
because depression is at an all-time high.
Mhm.
People have a bore, they have a hollow hole inside of their hearts
Mhm.
to the point that nothing can fill that. Even
Yep.
social media, even the spirit of socializing.
Mhm.
Since social media and all these different media outlets came out, socializing has dropped to all. You would
Yeah.
think the socializing actually elevated. It dropped.
It dropped. You can't even have a real conversation face to face with somebody. You may think that you may have a conversation with someone on social media and meet up with them in real life, and they're not even the same person.
Hmm
You know?
You got the disease outbreak in
Yep.
Atlanta.
Mhm.
HIV in Atlanta is
Yep.
as bad as a third world country.
Mhm.
This place is basically in a third world debt.
Mhm.
So hey, this place is done, man.
Yeah.
And you know, it's still a little bit more.
Uh, that was pretty much the point.
Con. But yeah, all these things are signs of the end. It tells you that in second of the ninth chapter, everything has a beginning and an end, and the end is
Mhm.
being manifest.
Yeah.
So this was just a little bit just going into this article, which is tons, thousands, if not millions of articles that's showing this place is falling.
Mhm.
So we want to end by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
by
Ba'ashem,
Hashem, Yahweh Shai,
Yahushua,
by
Ba'ashem,
Hashem,
Rakakwadash.
Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.
Shalom.